Hello, my name is Jeff Raffauf, and I'm one of the pastors at West Lawn United Methodist Church. And it's been my privilege, along with Pastor Chris Hardy, to bring you these daily connection videos since the middle of March. We have been doing something recently called Stump the Pastor, and that is simply to say, accept the pictures and photographs that you have submitted to us and try to use them in a way that is devotional or inspirational to you. And a late entry came from Karen Gears, who shared with me just recently a picture of a souvenir, I guess, that she brought back from one of her trips. She had been in Germany. I'm guessing she brought this back from Germany, but regardless, it is the picture of a perpetual calendar in German. So you can keep track of it, of the days of the months of the year, the days of the week, and the number of the day. I have a perpetual calendar, not one this fancy, and mine is a Coca-Cola calendar, actually, and you may have seen it in the background of some of my early videos. But Karen has a much lovelier picture of a calendar, a perpetual calendar in German. And you may go a number of different ways with this, and Karen, I'm not sure what you were thinking when you submitted it, but my mind immediately went to a praise song we often sang years ago in our sanctuary when we were gathered for worship. Better is one day in your courts, O Lord, than 1,000 elsewhere. In fact, Psalm 84:10 reads, "For a day in your courts is better than 1,000 elsewhere. I would rather be a doorkeeper in the house of my Lord than live in the tents of wickedness." Lord, when we serve the Lord, we get to be doorkeepers. A few years ago, some of the folks from the praise team suggested that we might want to go to a conference at Passion City Church in Atlanta. It was not in one of the fancy neighborhoods of Atlanta, but rather a very working class neighborhood. And the church wasn't a grand architectural structure, as I know there are many in Atlanta, but this was a former Home Depot converted into a place of worship where people from all walks of life gather to worship. And as we got there, of course we were expecting great things. Of course we were expecting extraordinary hospitality. Louis Giglio was the pastor there, and Christian Standifer was leading worship, and the cast, if you will, they wouldn't call them that, but the servants, the musicians, were just phenomenal. The people who have struck up labels and recorded music of their own. David Crowder was a part of the band in this service. Anyway, it was an amazing experience, but everyone who serves there, we learned, starts as a door holder. And it made me think of this passage about I'd rather be a doorkeeper. I would rather be a doorkeeper in the house of my God than live in the tents of wickedness. Every servant at Passion City Church, as I was told, starts as a doorkeeper. And in fact, their t-shirt says door holder or doorkeeper. I believe it's door holder. Everybody starts at the most humble level. But it's not humble as in you don't deserve more or you aren't worthy of more, but everyone needs to remember that it would be better to be a doorkeeper in the house of God than to live in the tents or the palaces of wickedness. Because God's time is not like your time and my time, but we need to treasure the time we have with God. For a day in your courts is better than 1,000 elsewhere. Friends, one of the things I love about this church is when I come to worship, and at the beginning of the morning, I'm often back and forth from my office into the sanctuary several times, and our doorkeepers, our door holders, our door greeters are there, and they hold that door every time. And every time it makes me feel so special, even though they're just helping me out, and they're probably wondering, when am I going to get this right? When am I not going to forget something? Why do I go back and forth so much? How many times I go back and forth isn't the point. Every time I come, they hold the door for me. Friends, what a wonderful image. I hope that you are are spending time with God. For a day in your courts is better than 1,000 in the tents or the palaces of wickedness. And I hope you want to be a doorkeeper, someone who holds the door open, someone who obliterates the obstacles from people that may prevent them from coming to God. I hope that you have a church that makes you feel special when you walk in. I hope that you can, by your life, help others to come to a place where they can put their trust in God. Friends, I pray that we might know the joy of the psalmist. For a day in God's courts is better than 1,000 elsewhere. I would rather be a doorkeeper in the house of my God than live in the tents of wickedness. Friends, let us rejoice in the opportunities God is giving us. And may God be with you till we meet again.
What made God take so much care to make creation glow? He could have made it black and white, and we'd have never known. And what made God send Jesus to die on Calvary? Of course it was this joyous thing I feel inside of me. That's the love of God, it's never ending. That's the love of God, always forgiving. He's always there, he never fails. All he will do is love forever, and he loves to share it. That's the love of God. It can change a family, it's already changed the world. When Jesus brings it to our hearts, heaven's banner is unfurled. And once you start to share it in his precious name, you're glad to see your view of life will never be the same. That's the love of God, it's never ending. That's the love of God, always forgiving. He's always there, he never fails. All he will do is love forever, and he loves to share it. That's the love of God. La 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 la, do 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 do. La 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 la, do 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 do. La 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 la, la la. That's the love of God, it's never ending. That's the love of God, always forgiving. He's always there, he never fails. All he will do is love forever, and he loves to share it, and he loves to share it. That's the love of God. That's the love of God.
Hello, church family. We have a joke for you today.
Knock knock.
Who's there?
Cargo.
Cargo who?
No, silly cargo beep.
Cargo beep beep. Very good. Thank you, Austin.
Have you been hoping that the pastor would finally address your burning theological question, only to be disappointed that it wasn't addressed during the sermon yet again? Well, now's your chance to ask the pastor that question. Questions like, can I trust the Bible? Why aren't my prayers being answered? Or, why do bad things happen to good people? Maybe you've been at the circus and wondered, why aren't dinosaurs mentioned in the Bible? Or perhaps you were working out and asked your partner, did those miracles really happen? Or maybe you're just wondering if Jesus likes football or baseball better. Maybe Junior wants to know, do dogs go to heaven? Whatever your question may be, nothing is too deep, nothing is too shallow for our pastors to answer. Email me, Pastor Chris, along with Pastor Jeff, your question, and it could be answered during one of our upcoming devotional videos beginning June 29th. Space is limited, don't wait. Submit your questions now.